If you need to lose 50 pounds of weight or more, I'm going to map out a pretty aggressive program for you to follow in this video to lose the weight as quickly as possible. And it's going to involve three different things. Number one, you're going to start fasting. You're going to do something called alternate day fasting. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to eat a whole natural food diet, relatively low in carbohydrates. And the third thing is you're going to do a real simple exercise program, just some walking and some real basic resistance training movements. But the first thing I want you to do, number one, is that if you're 50 to 100 pounds overweight, most likely you might be on some type of medication. You might have high blood pressure. You might have high cholesterol. You might be pre-diabetic or something like that. So I'm assuming you're working with a doctor. I want you to find a doctor, a local doctor in your area that does believe in intermittent fasting and low carb eating. I think those are the two best things you can do to lose weight quickly and also to improve your health. But a lot of doctors don't like that approach. You need to find a doctor locally, similar to a doctor like Dr. Jason Fung, who wrote the book, The Obesity Code. I love that book. And he even talks about it. He has a Facebook group. You can ask for recommendations, because what I'm going to recommend you do is pretty aggressive. This is exactly what I would do. Like if I was 100 pounds overweight and I wanted to lose weight as quickly as possible, I'm going to map out to you exactly what I would do, but it's pretty aggressive. And like, for example, if you do have high blood pressure, studies have shown, and I've seen this firsthand, people who start fasting every other day, like I'm going to explain to you, their blood pressure can really improve and go down pretty quickly. So if you're taking medication, you can have a big drop in your blood pressure within a few weeks. You might feel a little strange, so you may have to talk to your doctor to maybe stop taking the medication. So you have to work with a doctor when you're doing a program as aggressive as this is. Now let's go through the exact program. Okay, number one, what is alternate day fasting? Okay, alternate day fasting just means that you're going to be eating every other day. So for example, you're going to be fasting for 36 hours, and then you're going to be taking in all your calories within an 8-hour eating window. And you're going to do this every other day. But let's first talk about like what you're allowed to like drink and eat during your fasted 36 hours, your fasting window. First of all, you really want to stay well hydrated. General rule is you want to drink half your body weight in ounces of water every single day. So if you say you're 300 pounds, you do want to drink 150 ounces of water. Real important to stay hydrated. Plus, you don't want your electrolytes to drop. See, I love mineral water, like Pellegrino mineral water. First of all, there's a little bit of sodium. There's some electrolytes in the mineral water. There's also minerals, like there's magnesium. I find that people who aggressively start fasting, there are three places where they run into trouble. Number one, they don't take in enough sodium, right? Electrolytes. Number two, they don't take in enough potassium. They don't take in enough magnesium. See, Pellegrino, every liter, has 50 milligrams of magnesium in it. So the adequate intake of magnesium for the day is about 400 milligrams. So the whole key to be successful with these aggressive fasting protocols is to make sure you're keeping your electrolytes up. And then when you do eat, which we're going to talk about later in the video, you're taking in enough good nutrition to carry you over for the days that you are fasted. Also, I know Pellegrino can be somewhat expensive. If you don't want to do that, you can just take tap water and just put like a pinch of salt. Buy some Himalayan salt or something like that, sea salt, and just put a pinch of salt, of sodium, in the water every time you drink it. Now, you can also drink no-calorie type liquids during your fasted 36 hours as well. So, for example, you can have black coffee. You can have like green tea. You can have herbal teas. So you can drink any no-calorie liquids. And I also want to make this, reasonable for you to do. I don't think it's going to hurt you too bad if you do take in a little bit of calories. For example, if you have to put a little bit of cream in your coffee, you're still going to get like almost all the benefit of the fast. Just think how you're going to be reducing calories so dramatically by fasting for 36 hours that if you take in 50 calories here or there, you're still going to do incredibly well. So if you start getting really hungry during your 36-hour fast, I think it's okay to maybe drink a little bit of bone broth, a little bit of chicken broth, 40, 50 calories per cup, do things like that. Now, when it comes to artificial sweeteners, some people like to drink diet sodas during their fast. You could do that. The only thing is that artificial sweeteners, research has shown that does spike insulin levels. See, one of the reasons why fasting works so well, besides you just like we talked about, you're just reducing calories so much, is that it keeps insulin levels low. See, insulin is the storage hormone. Like whenever you eat food, whatever calories you're not burning right then, the pancreas produces insulin to store away those excess calories. See, unfortunately though, when insulin is elevated, when insulin is chronically always high from constantly eating, it's really difficult for the body to dip into stored energy, to burn body fat, to burn stored carbohydrates. Some people feel that artificial sweeteners do spike insulin and it can affect the weight loss, but I wouldn't be overly concerned. But if you want to sweeten something up, like say you're having unsweetened iced tea, or I love hibiscus tea, get some stevia or some monk fruit, like a natural type sweetener. I think you'll be better off. But the whole key is to just dramatically reduce calories and be as close to a fasted state as possible while staying hydrated and keeping your electrolytes up during the 36-hour fast. So that's step one, right? Step one after getting doctor's approval, after working with a doctor. Okay, now step two. Let's talk about what you should be eating during your 8-hour eating window. Okay, so let's say you fasted for 24 hours, then you wake up the next day, 36 hours into a fast. It's 12 in the afternoon. You're ready to break your fast. You're going to be eating, say 2 or 3 meals, be done by 8 in the evening. 8-hour eating window. Okay, the type of foods I want you to eat is maximizing your nutrition. You want that potassium, right? You want that magnesium. You want vitamins and minerals, nutrients. You want a good amount of protein. See, if you don't eat enough protein, it's gonna be hard for you to maintain your muscle mass. So you want to eat a good amount of protein. I would say if you're 300 pounds, and let's say you're 40% body fat, so what's that? If you're 50% body fat, you'd be 150 pounds of lean mass. If you're 40%, say you're 160, 170 pounds of lean muscle mass. You want to eat close to 0.9 grams of protein per pound of lean body weight. So you want to take in close to about 150 grams of, say, protein if you're 300 pounds. If you're 200 pounds, you want to take in 125 or so grams of protein during that 8-hour eating window. A general rule is every 4 ounces of chicken, fish, or meat is 25 grams of protein. So you really may want to have a nice 16-ounce piece of salmon right at one of your main meals. You may want to have 3 hard-boiled eggs, 8 grams of protein per egg, maybe as a breakfast. You may want to have a Greek yogurt, get another 15 grams of protein there. So you want to take enough protein. If you're a vegetarian, it's a little bit more challenging. I definitely say supplement your diet with hemp seed or maybe some pea protein. And you can even take in some whey protein. Then you also want to eat a high nutrition type diet. You want the potassium. You want tons of vegetables, a rainbow color of vegetables. You want to eat a couple of fruits. If you want a sweet potato or a baked potato, eat like that. Just take in good quality nutrition. If you have to take a little bit of junk food, do that too. Truthfully, you'll probably do incredibly well if you ate anything you wanted during the 8-hour eating window, but I'd rather you not. And this is why. If you're 50, 100 pounds overweight, you're probably insulin resistant, meaning that your pancreas produces insulin, but your cells are just not responding to it. You may be leptin resistant, meaning that your fat cells are releasing a hormone leptin that's supposed to tell your brain that you've eaten enough, but you become resistant to that. So you just, your hormones are all out of whack. The fasting's gonna help. But if you can also eat a whole natural food diet, relatively low on carbohydrates, maybe 100 to 200 grams of carbohydrates for the 800 calories, you're going to be minimizing the spikes in insulin. You're going to hopefully slowly start turning around insulin resistance or leptin resistance. You're going to get your hormones in line if you ate healthier during that 8-hour eating window. So that's step 2 in the process. Now, step 3 is going to be, I'm going to want you to start doing just a real simple exercise program. On the days that you're fasting and you're staying well hydrated, I want you to start walking. And it could be as simple as just doing 3 10-minute walks during the day. Some research has shown that walking for 10 minutes 3 times a day works just as well as like metformin, some of these like diabetic type medications. Right? Walking is like a miracle drug. Besides psychologically making you feel amazing, right? Walking is just one of the singular best things you can do for your health. So you really want to start walking. Start out with 3 10-minute walks, but then you want to start increasing it. Eventually, I would love you to be walking like an hour or longer every single day you're in a fasted state. Okay, so that's what you're gonna do on the days that you're fasting. When you wake up the next day, you'll still be fasting in the morning, right? A little black coffee, something in the morning. But then once you break your fast 12 in the afternoon, and maybe I would want you to either do a little bit of resistance training in the middle of the day, maybe in between meals, or maybe you can wait till you're done eating 7, 8 o'clock in the evening and then just do a little bit of resistance training at night. And just the simplest type of movements, like body weight squats, body weight lunges, maybe push-ups. If you can't do push-ups off the floor, push-ups or off the countertop. You know, do planks. I have a whole bunch of exercises on my channel. You can look up the exercises on my channel. Just look them up on YouTube. Just you want to do a 15, 20-minute resistance training program on the days when you're eating food, right around that 8-hour eating window. I wouldn't necessarily do it before because you might be a little hungry. Do it after you eat. It's going to maintain your muscle mass, might even increase your muscle mass. Real important thing to do. And this is the process I'm going to want you to follow for 4 solid weeks. I want you to do this for an entire month. You're going to be dramatically thinner and you're going to start feeling amazing. But I also want you to be communicating with the doctor that you found that believes in intermittent fasting and low carb eating. Like for example, I gave earlier, your blood pressure might be going down. You may have to adjust your medications. You know, so it's real important to keep a communication going with your doctor. But this is a key factor to this program. At the end of 4 weeks, I want you to take a diet break. And it's real important to do that, meaning that I want you to stop this alternate day fasting for at least a week. Take 5 days off. Go back to eating maybe 2 or 3 meals a day. Up your calories. See, what this does is it's twofold, meaning whenever you lose weight, your metabolism is going to slow down to some degree. It's called metabolic adaptation. It's actually a good thing. You're smaller, you need less calories. But if you restrict calories aggressively for too long, you can over-exaggerate the slowdown in your metabolism. And some studies have shown, it's not universal, but I'm a big believer of it. Some studies have shown that if you take a diet break and you up your calories to at least maintenance, I wouldn't even worry about that. I just would eat more for a week or two. I said, let's for a week. Let's do it for 5 days, 5 to 7 days. Up your calories. It's going to help you with long-term weight loss. Plus, since you've been alternate day fasting and only eating every other day, you might be a little low in certain vitamins and minerals and nutrients. It keeps you out of trouble taking a diet break after 4 weeks. So that's the long-term plan. So you can do that for a week, right? Don't be afraid and don't get annoyed if you gain a pound or 2. Some people even lose weight when they up their calories because the more you eat, it increases your metabolism. Other people gain a little bit of weight, but then on week 6, go right back to the alternate day fasting. Do it for a month and keep on repeating this process until you lost 50, 100 pounds, till you lost all the weight. I'm telling you, it's an aggressive program, but it really can work. Like when someone emails me and DMs me, I get emailed all the time, people who like want to lose 50, 100 pounds, or maybe they're frustrated. They hit a weight loss plateau. I always talk to them like this. I say, this is what I would do if I had to lose 100 pounds. But it's important. Don't neglect the point of seeing a doctor. You have to work with a doctor when you're doing something this aggressive. So give it a try. If you need any help along the way, leave comments below this video. Ask me as many questions as you want. If you have a hard time finding a doctor in your area, let me know. I'll see if I can find someone locally for you. Get started tomorrow. You can do it.